Understanding what it took for someone to bludgeon and dismember another human being can actually be done. That's according to a psychologist Drew Blair sat down with. And Drew, he says coming to that understanding is important.
Yeah, Mark, because with it, society could have the power to prevent such horrible crimes like Aliahna Lemmon's murder. Why? The most asked question in the days following the murder of a 9-year-old girl.
Every defendant is an individual, and they can do different things at different times and respond differently. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Police say Michael Plumidor's mind is the one to pick. Dr. Stephen Ross knows criminal behavior. The clinical and forensic psychologist has had a say in more than 300 court cases, whether through evaluation or testimony.
You have to get into the mind of the person who committed the crime to understand why they did what they did.
Psychopath.
A psychopath, by definition, is a person who lacks remorse, lacks a conscience.
That's the word that could ultimately be used to describe Aliahna Lemmon's killer.
When you mutilate that which you've murdered, it's an extraordinarily, even more violent offense. Anger, extreme anger, and it's coming out.
According to Dr. Ross, psychopaths aren't born. There is a biological fault, but most have had something happen to them in the past to trigger violent behavior.
You put that together with the life experiences, then them personally themselves experiencing horrific experiences, and then maybe drugs or alcohol, and then other factors, then you got the perfect psychopathic storm.
Being diagnosed a psychopath doesn't mean a person is insane. One can still know the difference between right and wrong. They just choose to act otherwise.
People have the mistaken belief that an insanity defense is easy to get. It's not. Less than 5%, perhaps 1% of those who claim to be insane, meaning they had a mental disease that kept them from understanding right from wrong, it's pretty rare.
Ross suggests abuse is one of the more common building blocks of a psychopath. He says if we can work to prevent child abuse from the start, the number of violent crimes could diminish.
Okay, well, that's an important insight then. Thanks, Drew.